We get two kind of distinct trajectories for post UFP alumni. The first are folks that want to stick to their original training, but distinguish themselves from their peers by being specialized in the urban. So, for example, we had a fellow who was an engineer who used to work for TCS, came into the fellowship and went back to DMRC and now still works as a software engineer, but specializes in transport systems and works in transport utilities. A second set of people use us to completely refract, in a sense, from their previous training. So you have lawyers who don't want to practice law, but come in and then work actually on law, property, housing rights, and evictions. So they use one part of their training, but they locate it in a different sector. So they actually are looking for a sector shift into the urban, and they use the UFP to figure out what kind of urban sectors and practices happen that allow them to do that. We do have a set of people, though it is a minority of people, who transition into further higher education, into master's or PhD programs. So they use the fellowship in order to chart a kind of intellectual and practice trajectory and say, this is what I want to do here, and I want to do this kind of program to become better at that. People go from the social movement into the development sector to to private engineering firms. People work for the government. People have started their own enterprises. They join research think tanks. They join nonprofits. They join incubation and medium startup firms. They join the academy and academia. So there really is a very strong diversity of post-employment trajectories. What we have seen now quite successfully with over 120, 130 graduates of the fellowship is that there are solid, concrete, multiple employment trajectories, and that the interdisciplinarity of our education is something that our fellows have found aids and sets them apart, instead of actually being something that they have to overcome. And that's something that they have found happily and we have found happily.